What if a city could tell you its story? Not just in history books, but like layer by layer. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're diving into Tainan, Taiwan's ancient capital, to peel back the centuries of culture, conflict, and creativity that are literally baked into its foundations. So here's the big question we're tackling. How on earth does a 400-year-old city stay so alive, so vibrant? The answer isn't locked away in some stuffy museum. Nope, it's written right on the walls of its forts, its temples, and its streets. So let's get started and peel back that first layer. All right, for our first layer, we're jumping back in time to the 17th century, right into an age of empires. See, Tainan wasn't just some city. It was a prize, a strategic gem. And the Dutch, they were the first ones to really claim it.
This right here, this is basically ground zero. This is Amping Fort. Back in 1624, the Dutch called it Fort Zeelandia. And from this very spot, they launched a trading empire that spread all across Asia. It all started here.
But you know what's really wild about this fort? It's not just what it defended, but what's literally holding it together. The Dutch used a local recipe for their mortar, a sticky mix of sugar, sand, seashells, and glutinous rice. I mean, come on, that's history you can almost taste. So the Dutch had this two-part plan to lock down their control. Over on the left, you've got the military muscle of Fort Zeelandia, and on the right, the administrative brain, Chicken Tower, which they called Fort Provincia. Together, these were the twin pillars of Dutch power on the island. And this timeline, wow, it really shows you just how chaotic Tainan's early days were. The Dutch set up shop, they build their power base, but then, just a few decades later, bam, they're kicked out by the legendary Kuxinga. And then, a century after that, a whole new threat pops up on the horizon, forcing the city to build another massive fortress. The big takeaway here? In Tainan, power was never a sure thing. Okay, so forts and battles are one thing, but that is not the whole story, not by a long shot. Tainan has this incredibly deep spiritual and intellectual core that has really shaped all of Taiwan for centuries. Let's dive into this next absolutely crucial layer. This place? This is the real heart of Tainan's cultural identity. It's the island's very first Confucian temple. Founded way back in 1665, it wasn't just a place to worship, it was known as the premier academy of Taiwan, basically the birthplace of scholarship and philosophy for the entire island. And the spiritual scene here is just incredibly diverse. It's like a mirror reflecting all the different people and dynasties that pass through. You've got the Grand Mazu Temple, which was actually built inside a former Ming prince's palace. Then there are shrines to Guanggang, the god of war, which makes sense, right? And check this out, the city god temple has a giant abacus, a not-so-subtle reminder that the gods are, keeping score. Every single temple tells its own amazing story. Sometimes it's the smallest details that hit you the hardest. Here at the Tiangong Temple, there's this plaque with just a single, powerful brushstroke. And what it means is basically, whatever the human minds intend, the gods decide the end. It's just this simple, timeless expression of humility. But of course, history never stands still. This deep spiritual identity was about to meet a huge wave of modernization. Our next layer shows a city in the middle of a massive transformation, as Japanese rule and Western trade came in and completely reshaped Tainan's skyline and its soul. Just look at these two buildings. They tell you everything you need to know about this era. On one side, you have the magnificent, over-the-top Baroque style of the old district court, and on the other, the sleek, modern Art Deco lines of the Hayashi department store. Both were built under Japanese rule, and both tell a story of a city just soaking up new global styles. The Hayashi department store was a total game changer. It wasn't just southern Taiwan's first department store, it had the region's first ever commercial elevator. I mean, can you just imagine the buzz around that? It was a symbol of the future. And today, it's been reborn as a super cool hub for local art and design. And you can still see traces of Tainan's global training days all over the city. You can wander over to the old British Merchant House, which was a major hub for tea and sugar. And then right nearby, there's an old German trading post that is now, get this, a German beer garden. How cool is that? All right, for our final layer, we're going to look at something really special, how Tainan weaves its stunning natural landscapes together with this amazing talent for reinventing its industrial past. This is where the old meets the wild. Okay, get ready for this. It's called the Little Amazon River of Tainan, and you can totally see why. This is the Sakao Green Tunnel, and it's this stunning natural passageway formed by a super dense mangrove forest. It's just a beautiful reminder of the wild nature that lives right alongside this ancient city. And then there's this. I know, it looks like a snow-covered mountain, right? Well, get this. It's a 6-story high peak made entirely of pure salt. It's this incredible landmark left over from Taiwan's huge salt industry. It's like a monument to the past, sculpted by time. This right here, this is the spirit of Tainan in a nutshell. What you're looking at was an old, abandoned sugar factory. Now, it's the 10-Drum Culture Village, a world-class performance venue. And they didn't just save the building, they actually made the old machinery part of the stage. It's just brilliant. And the amazing stuff isn't just in the city proper. Tainan is surrounded by these incredible natural wonders. It's home to Taiwan's only mud hot spring, this bizarre, almost alien landscape called Moon World, and the largest lagoon on the entire island, which is actually what's left of an ancient sea. This place is just full of surprises. And so we end up here on Shennong Street, a place where all of Tainan's layers just seem to come together. From Dutch forts and Confucian temples to Japanese department stores and bustling markets, this whole city is a living, breathing history book. So the only real question left is, which story would you want to discover first?